Hey there, how's it going? I'm back with another unboxing video. This is part of my fall resupply. This is unboxing video number 2 out of 4 that I'm going to be making here soon. And let's just jump right into it. So let's see what we have here. Ooh, wow. Wow. I just emptied the whole thing out. I guess that's not really good for controlling the flow of information. So let's move some stuff over here. Oh, crazy, crazy. Okay, so here we go. So this order is from Eurotackle, and as you can see right on the package here, a lot of these are true like finesse style baits. I mean, they are really nice and small. So I've had some of their swim bait stuff before, and I think that's about the extent of what I've gotten from them. And so when I was looking for different small little crankbaits and some trout stuff, it just made sense to place an order from them. So this one is called the Z Viber. So it's basically a vibrating jig. Nice thing is these ones actually are in English. So it says it's got a single hook, perfect balance. It's got a rattle system built in and very tight vibrations. I mean, look at that. It's actually, the packaging on this is, all of these is pretty impressive. This is a proper finesse bait. Does it have the weight on it? So 1/16 of an ounce. So nice and small. Looking forward to getting that one out there. This one is, oh, this is the live spoon. You know, this almost looked like a crankbait. It's hard to tell on the website sometimes what things really look like, right? You know, this I thought was going to be a little bit bigger, and I'm glad it's nice and small. But this, if you look at this from this direction, right, it looks like a crankbait, but it's really a spoon. And if you look, see how it's got the little curve. I kind of wish I would have ordered more of these at this point. So this one, if I remember, it has a, yeah, so this spoon actually has a rattle built into it as well. It has some swimming action, and it's basically a rattle channel in it as well. So that is the Eurotackle live spoon. This one is the Eurotackle Ultimate Micro Crankbait. It's the Z Cranker. This is a UV color. So this one's a little bit different than some of the other stuff that I've been trying to get a hold of, but it's got some of that natural looking color, but then it's UV. And again, I have a video coming up that I have to make on why UV is important. But basically, the fish can see it better, and there's a lot of science behind why that works. So what's this one say on the back? So this one's 1/8 of an ounce. It's 2.5 to 5 feet depth. And it's a slow floating, and it also has rattles built into it as well. It's a really nice looking bait. Very nice. What else we got here? Okay, I want to hold that one. So let's get into this one. This one is the Eurotackle Z Spender, and so it's a suspending micro jerk bait. This one is really similar to, you know, it's really similar to some of the other trout jerk baits that I have. This one is suspending. It's 1/8 ounce, and it goes from 2 to 4 feet. And I mean, you can see it's sort of see-through. It's got that same color sort of pattern as this one has. Again, and the packaging is just phenomenal on these. This one is also UV, so it's really about the same bait idea, just in different formats. This one's probably gonna get out on the water really, really fast. Okay, and then a little bit of soft plastic. This is basically almost like their little Helgramite. It's called an Anisoptera. So it's, you know, it's essentially a little Helgramite, but it's small. You know, I figured it'd be good on some of the, definitely for some trout, but it would be good on some of the mule jig heads as well. I wanted to pick those up. And then the other thing, I thought about these in the spring, but I didn't get them. These are what they call their mummy worms. They are a mummified wax worm. The few times that I like to use wax worms or something similar, I don't use hardly any of them, and then the rest of them die off or whatever. So I thought these would be really good for on those days when I'm like, oh man, the bite's tough, or I'm at a lake fishing a bunch of stock trout or something. I felt like these might work really well. So I got a couple different things of these. I actually already have an idea of where I'm going to try them the first time, and it is on a lake. These are real wax worms, but then they're dyed and basically dried. And so curious to see how those perform. And then the other reason I wanted to order from Eurotackle is they have this other line of sort of micro crankbaits from what's the Capperlin, and they looked like beautiful baits. And so this is they've got weird names. It's almost like Cadillac, MNWDD. So this dives basically down to 2 feet. It's 2.4 grams and it's 50 millimeters long. I think it's basically a French company for the most part. WXM. Again, I don't know which one makes more sense, but this is a beautiful bait, and I don't know if the video is going to pick it up, but it's sort of white with an iridescent purple. It's actually a lot nicer than what I expected even, and I had high expectations out of these, which is why I was saving them for the end. So I'm really looking forward to using that one. And then this is another one of that same bait, just in a different color pattern. This is like a rainbow trout one. And again, and actually this one is, I think, a shallower diving, right? So this one, I'm trying to figure out. But it's a little bit different. It weighs a little bit less. This one might actually be a floating. Trying to figure out the difference here. So this one maybe is a deep diving, and maybe it suspends at 2 feet. And this one just runs and suspends at 1.5 feet. So this one will probably actually be the one that I'll try here real soon based on the trip that I have coming up. Then I got one more thing from Capperlin. And this is a little crankbait, and it's got that same, man, I'm glad I got it in that color. It's got that same white paint job that has the iridescent purple. Again, it's absolutely beautiful. This one runs down to 5 feet, and it's 2.8 grams. Look how wide that is compared to the height of the body. Their baits just seem to have a little bit different design, and they seem to be really high quality. So I wanted to give them a try. And I mean, and that's about it. I mean, it just, what do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crankbaits, and crank and minnow style. I mean, I guess this is a lipless crankbait. A few soft plastics and a few worms. This is definitely the smallest order out of the group, and because there were some very specific things I wanted to try. And they had a couple other things that they were out of stock of, so I didn't get those. But let me get these out of the way. And since this is a small order, I want to cover one other thing. Since I had so much new stuff coming in, I know I needed some new storage. So I ordered from Amazon. I have a lot of different brands of boxes, and some big names, some no names. And honestly, most of them I get aggravated with about all of them. There's one exception. I have an old box from Flambeau, and it has this Z-Rust technology. So I ordered a handful more to be able to put these things in. And these little dividers, I guess, do something to help prevent rust, and which can be good. I mean, you're putting, damp or almost wet baits in there. But I like the way these boxes look. They have basically a wider channel. I'll go down here. They have a wider fixed channel on this side, so I can put either plastics in here if I want, or I can put the dividers in and have various different size options. This could become very good for, sometimes I just like to throw a few spinner baits in, and it's hard to find a spot for those. So I just like the flexibility of these. And I got 6 of them. I think it was like $28 for 6 of them, which is a fantastic deal. The quality of their dividers is much nicer than most, and the snaps just really seem to function well. They don't need a lot of force, but they close in a very positive manner. I ended up getting some of those, and then while I was looking, I saw a couple other things, and not too long ago, I made a video about my soft plastic storage, and so I got something to hopefully rectify that, and then one other box as well. So Flambeau also makes this soft plastic, they call it a super half satchel, which means maybe they got a full satchel somewhere. But I thought it was going to be really good for, it's got basically 3 dividers, 4 compartments. And so I felt like I'd be able to separate out my soft plastics and organize them a little bit more so that they're standing straight up and down instead of just stacked in a shoebox, a boot box for my waders at this point. So we got that. And then the last thing that fell down here on the bottom is, this is also by Flambeau. This is the spinnerbait organizer. I think the spinnerbait box was $10 and the soft plastic storage might have been 12 or 13 or something. So around 50 bucks for all of it, which I thought was a pretty good deal based on, you know, what I spent on all the tackle that's coming in. I didn't want to just try to cram all of it into my existing boxes. It probably wouldn't have fit anyway. And I figured, well, if I'm going to buy a few tackle boxes, I might as well get a couple things to help me organize some of this a little bit better, especially the spinner baits. So what I try to do is, you know, I'll have a box or two that I'm going to take with me each day, because I'm always trying different things. I'm always sort of experimenting, and I'm trying to think about, okay, either what technique do I want to work on, or where am I headed, what kind of fish, what kind of water, and then what baits do I think will work. And then I'm assembling a box or two of the baits that I want to take. I'm not just grabbing like an entire box. I like to store my stuff by type of bait, and so then I can go through and make some of my choices. Maybe eventually I'll have like set boxes for set species and conditions, I don't know. But so, you know, what I think I'll end up doing is a couple of these will end up being my everyday, and because this side pocket right here, you know, all these are fixed, but it's got this big side pocket. This is going to be so flexible for whether it's soft baits, whether it's spinner baits, even large jerk baits maybe. You know, I don't use hardly any of those either. But so anyway, that's the plan. This is this is going to be video number 2 out of 4. This stuff from Eurotackle is really nice. You know, and honestly, if you want to support another YouTuber, Fish Hawk is a guy who does a lot of trout fishing. He's really mostly a medium to lightweight spinning guy, but he always has some discount codes for Eurotackle, so you can use that and get like 10% off. Give his channel a watch. I enjoy it a lot. He's a West Virginia guy. I grew up in West Virginia, so you know, give him a little shout out, and if you can help him out a little bit by using his discount code, that'd be great. But these, I tell you, these are another set of baits in general that the quality and what appears to be the attention to detail is just so much nicer than what I grew up with, you know. And so, not that I fished a lot of this stuff growing up, but seeing it always just sort of like, you know, do fish really hit that? And there may be part of this that's, you know, how many of these baits are designed to catch fishermen instead of fish, right? Because, I mean, again, this is both of these ones. This color on this is absolutely gorgeous, and it's the second unboxing that I've had a bait that I'm sort of like, I just want to put this on a shelf and look at it because it's that beautiful. So the challenge will be, when we get them out on the water, do they actually catch fish? So with that, that's the end of this one. It's a fairly quick one, not a whole bunch of stuff, but next one, the next 2 are going to be almost entirely crankbaits, and there's a ton of them in there. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.